Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Stopan and today I've prepared for you a small exhibition of 3 excellent items from the hands of me and my dad, and there are one small, one medium and one larger work. The larger work being a journal, a joint project between me and my dad, of course, while the medium and the small one are solo projects by my dad. And let me say, it's always a pleasure to review his items because I know I'm lifting a burden while him not critiquing his own work. It's quite strange to do so, but these are really ambitious items and I do hope you appreciate them. I haven't made a making of video of these because they're a bit more complicated works, and while I'm doing making of videos I prefer to work on something more comfortable, something I'm sure of, rather than something that requires risks, a bit more attention, calculating and so on and so forth. And at these situations it's not really a good idea to be thinking about the camera, thinking about angles, thinking about lighting, thinking about how the shot is. So I just leave these best items actually for such reviews such as this one. So let's just go to the table next to the window and I'll show you what I have in store for you today. The largest item on this table is this journal, which I made a few months ago but haven't made a video on how I made it. And the reason is actually a very long story. As you can see, just to provide a sort of technical description, it's bound in red goatskin, it's tooled with gold, with egg glare. One part of its cover is covered in birch bark, which I collected myself, and a frame of sterling silver made by my father, and this is on both covers. Inside, the end papers are made from my handmade paper and a special linoprint design for decoration. It's sprinkled with red ink, and inside you have this cream colored smooth paper that is common for all of my journals. And the headbands are from yellow goatskin, sewn around a hemp cord core and blind tooled a bit. So what's so special about this journal? Well, in all honesty, it wasn't supposed to be like this at all. If you remember this design from the linen journals I showed a few videos ago, actually this design was supposed to be tooled in gold onto the cover. But what happened? Basically I ruined it, in short, so I cut it off. And the journal was lying around maybe a month with a cut off cover before I actually thought of something to repair it. So one day we were walking with a friend of mine in a beautiful park nearby, and it's like a forest of sorts, and one of the parts of this park has a beautiful birch grove of sorts, and there are always fallen trees, and I always wanted to use birch bark for something. And that particular rainy day we went and I extracted some beautiful bark from a fallen tree, and I have some pieces here for you to see. It was quite a bit more rough than this, but I cut it off into smoother pieces because it had big lumps, for example here, but I cut it off. It's great to use, but really only if it's smooth. And I actually have a very big box filled with bark, horn and other similar materials that I want to use at some point again. And it rained the whole day. We went with just some bags and knives and raincoats. I actually used one of my favorite knives to extract the bark from the tree. It's made from a Bulgarian master knife maker that I adore very much. Maybe I've shown you this knife before, but it never hurts. It's just a beautiful piece of equipment. So after I got the bark, I scraped the surface smooth, covered it in shellac and steamed it a bit actually beforehand to make it more pliable, and positioned it right in the center of where I cut the failed design. And later I asked my dad to make this silver frame, which actually beautifully covers the transition between leather and bark. It was actually a failed experiment that the result is actually way better than what was originally planned. It turned out one of our most beautiful journals for the past months. My friend who came with me on this trip to the woods is actually a professional photographer, and while I was searching for proper trees, proper specimens to extract bark from, he was taking some beautiful photographs of the area, which I'm more than happy to show you here in the video. The next item me and my dad are most proud to show you is our first set, not only with the dip pen, but with an Inkwell as well. So let me first show you the dip pen. It's made of a chunky piece of mahogany with a sterling silver fitting in the middle and fitted with a cornelian gemstone. And on the tip you can see the removable nib. The wood has beautiful grain, and it's actually quite comfortable on the hand regardless of the size. And it has a fitting chunky stand for it to stand when you're not using it. But the real masterpiece in this case is this absolutely magnificent Inkwell from my dad. Its base is a solid piece of mahogany fitted on 4 sides with a similar sterling silver fitting, each having a cornelian gemstone fitted in the middle. And on the top you can see the cap and the opening mechanism, which works just beautifully. This is not travel Inkwell by any means, just to let you know. As you can see, the cap doesn't insulate properly the jar the inkwell inside, but on a table it's a magnificent accessory. The heavy wood and the wide base surely will make it very difficult for it to turn over. The volume is around 10 milliliters, and its glass core can be removed easily, so it can be washed without you having any worries that you might damage the base. So when your ink runs out or you need to clean it up a bit, you can always remove it, wash it, and then return it back in. It's really a remarkable writing set that my dad wanted to do for a very long time. We've been talking about inkwells for more than a year, but we never really managed to think of how it could be done. We were thinking about glass, wood, ceramics, and I guess it just basically took my dad to become a bit more confident in his silver work. And I guess the idea just came out of experience, which is truly wonderful, very inspiring for me as well. And this is available for sale as well as the journal. I'll provide links for both of them in the video description, and you can see them on my web shops. The last item I have for you today is this small sterling silver box. But it's not just a box, it's also a pendant. So you can have it around your neck like this, through this loop. And it opens, and you can keep some sort of a keepsake inside. And basically, just to let you know, these sorts of small projects that my dad makes are not only his finished projects, but also a sort of training, because these are not very demanding per se, aesthetically or through skill, but 10 of these at some point lead up to one of this. Just feeling comfortable with the material, learning how your designs behave in real life, calculating, measuring all the distances needed for everything to function properly. It takes some time, but the end result is very fulfilling to see. So I do hope you liked this online video exhibition. It's small but from the heart, and as I said, all of these items are available for sale. You can see them on my website, you can see them on my Etsy shop as well, whatever you feel most comfortable. More details about them, such as measurements, volume, different material information, can be found in the description of these items as well. And as you can see, thankfully the quarantine hasn't affected us too much in terms of creativity. To be honest, all this isolation isn't that uncommon for us. We're quite used to staying in our studios all the time, so it actually was a moment to really step up our game, I guess, and think of really more meaningful projects, because it's strange, but during these times we really haven't been discouraged, but rather just wanted to make even more better work, and I do hope we keep this spirit up for a long time. It wouldn't be possible, of course, without your support, without all of you who decide to collect my work or support us to the various other ways, and we're most appreciative of it. Thank you for watching. I do hope you liked this video and all the previous ones, I guess, and stay tuned for next time. Have a great day.